Welcome back to more Persona 2 Innocent Sin. So last time we awakened to the power of our personas, and also we started spreading rumors. Our first rumor about some weapons in the Shraishi ramen shop. So yeah, and this time we're going to be checking out another area of town. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to be going to Rengi Dai, I believe. So yeah, we got a couple of places we can go visit. I guess we'll go start with Lotus. And yeah, here's your shops basically. Let's go check them out. We have Time Castle to start with. Again, there'll be a lot of chatting here, but we'll be getting into what these personas are capable of. I plan to do that this part. Given us a moment ago that only people who have a grasp on time fear the future. Maybe he's right. Worry about the present, get anxious over the future because they always think about what's ahead. Interesting. I don't know what the double saying is there all about, eh? Do you ever think about the past and wish you'd done things different? I know you can't change the past, but every time I remember, it hurts again. I got nouveau rich woman. Oh, no more living in poverty. I'm finally rich beyond my wildest dreams. For now, I'm living in the lap of luxury. The first thing I'll do is furnish my house with antique wall clock. Oof, this is expensive. Oh wait, I'm rich now. Okay then. And you got this guy. There's actually another person you can go talk to first. It's you. I regret my past is all. The pain in my heart remains as time mercilessly marches on. By the time I caught on, I've reached this age. And yeah, let's go talk to him. Count. Time cannot be stopped. The past you've lost cannot be reclaimed. This is why man desires antiques, recall long forgotten past. Though you're still young, even you must have lost past or precious memories, no? And yeah, we can ask about shopping. When I hear about buying and selling, I'll explain first how to buy items, like for example, accessory, you can purchase that character of item. Something is going to be equipped by certain individual. Make sure you check these conditions will make your purchase. Next, selling items. Select sell items, then you can choose a type of item to sell, so the item type of the sell. The resale price is about 50% of the original price. Good items with certain special items can be sold. That should cover everything. But yeah, everyone has their own version of Torah, which I find kind of interesting. But anyway, you can buy an accessory from him, the antique watch. It's quite expensive, and all it does is boost Julie luck by 1, so I wouldn't buy that personally. So yeah, we're just gonna leave now. This place is a bit more important later though. Next up we have Rosa Candida, which is an armor shop. Let's go talk to some people. Easter eyes, I forgot the glamorous body I always want. A little flash of leg and the men will be able to look away. Alright. Did you know the CS Fashion Trend's armor? That's what that lady said. See, folks sure are different if armor can be a trend. I should call up the folks back home and tell them. Leave this list. My coworker Keiko suddenly struck it rich. It can really change a person. But when you hateful people to think less of you for that, that's why I want some decent clothes. My pay is low, but I can charge you. Looks like people who followed the trend of War 7 have got sick too. This is all because of a rumor. Why is the salesman? Who does that salesman think she is? Does she make you mad? Let's go talk to her. Are you selling the finest clothes here? What do you think? Worried about that hesitation. Well, next to the small talk with her. My you 7 students, I'm sure you know, but most of us here in the see a scale disease. These days, your kind hanging around our stores is bad for our image. If you're done shopping, the exit's that way. Yeah, I can definitely see why Lisa's saying that. And obviously you can ask about shopping. Let's go buy first. Buy armor, you can purchase short stock amazing armor. Some armor really fits certain individuals, be sure to read the fine print before buying. Selling, so sell items, then you choose which type of item you like to sell, so which item to sell. Sell price roughly help the original price because they vary, so specialized, that doesn't matter. And all she has at the moment is the silver dress, which is a ripoff. It does get love plus 2 though, but yeah, you don't really need that, so yeah, Luckham is kind of a weird style. I'll talk about that later when we talk about the personas. Anyway, this Satomitashi, the items they sell aren't different. Well, they aren't different. Diet food is popular, but if you want to lose weight, just don't eat. They could be like me and the vine. Also, the music's different here, too. Mia bought some candy the other day, and that keeps you from getting fat. I wonder if they have it here. Huh? Is she a friend? Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of friends. We go out together all the time. Have you ever been to Kaori? Rumor has it that Roman Ferry is amazing. It can even cure wounds and sickness. My daughter won't leave her room, and now she's asking to get merciful swelling. It's a lot of belly getting bigger, is it? So yeah, over here we have Sister Free. We'll just talk to her. I assume the Oscar shop is going to be the exact same. My son decided to become a detective. He's such a disgrace I could cry. He doesn't save up either. Fortune teller told me he'd be rich someday, so I spent a lot of time raising him. Okay. And I'm gonna assume this is the same as the other person. Yeah, it is. Yeah, they sell the same things here as well. So just keep that in mind. As the other Satomi Tadashis. Now we're gonna go to Kaori, that place they were talking about a little bit ago. Coming to a place like this is for chumps. I naturally release pheromones called Pheroma XX. I don't need a cool one. Alright then. Pheroma XX? More like terrible BO. Tatsun, on the other hand, smells great. Oh, you're my favorite, Chinyan. Of course, the PTA didn't take the disease raging through the school lightly. We told the principal to investigate the cause. He told me it was more on by the students' conduct and my son sides with them. Wonder what's going on there. Hey, have you heard they can heal any injury or illness with fragrances here? That's the rumor that brought me here anyway, and it turns out it's true. Funny, huh? I better tell my neighbors about this. Miss Kaori, you know Rose putting on an indecent display. You're like the modest and soft babies, bro. I let her know my passion for her, but I wonder if she has a boyfriend. How could a woman with her beauty not? Yeah, that's the store clerk here. Here she is. Hello and welcome. What fragrance have you coupled today? So yeah, she's healing here actually. Fragrances have different effects. Some help balance one's mind, while some can even prevent maladies and disinfect the body. Let's talk about healing. Healing goes done. If you select heal here, your HVS and S status such as poison will be healed through breathing in fragrances. It does costly, but since the healing aromas affect everyone, it's cheap in the long run. So yeah, interesting enough, every area or Sumeru city, they have a different place that heals you, and I find that kind of charming to be honest. And we can go back to the bottom. I told some NPCs. I hear a ramen shop sells guns and swords and stuff. I wonder if they have a really cool sword. Something interesting is that, yeah, if you do start spraying rumors, it affects the NPCs. Oh, do you know the sevens? There's something happening at your school. It sounds like there was some commotion in the school grounds. Sounds like something important. Guess what? You notice how this place is an island surrounded by the Tanabata River, right? I was told it got its name because Rengadai means lotus flower. In the spring, it looks like a lotus floating on the waterfront above. And then we got you. The principal statue's son doesn't like to be seen walking around, but there aren't many folks around these days. Is it possible? So yeah, we actually have some interesting areas like the Elias Shrine, an area in Persona 1, although it's a bit different in this game. Oh no, I don't like it here. It's boring. Let's hurry back to Sevens. I'm officially baffled now. This looks exactly like the shrine I see in my dreams. It's like a bad case of deja vu. I've been in this place before. This shrine is actually only 10 years old. It was rebuilt after someone set fire to your shrine and burned it down. They never caught whoever committed such a terrible blasphemy. Heaven help them. And yeah, that's really all you can do here. You can't really go inside, so yeah. But you do want to remember that this place does exist, because it will be important later. And then you have Mount Iwato. Yeah, you can't actually go there, I think. It's over here, I believe. Mount Iwato, that's what I've seen it in my dreams. Is this deja vu or something? Don't have any business here, right? And then yeah, we have the park. You can still go here. And there's a Shadowman here. I got my ideal girlfriend, but she didn't notice me in that. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. A statue of the Prince of Summons walks on its own, right? A friend of a friend saw it happen. And yeah, there's actually quite a lot of people here. Money makes this world go around. I used to strike out at everything, but now that I've got cash, look at me. It's worth believing that stupid rumor. Your entire life changes with just one phone call. What's the point of living honestly? My boyfriend was like totally lame at first, but then he got all rich and stuff. I was like so happy that I kept him around. The dialogue is very interesting, not gonna lie. Here's Hanako. I'm not scared of them, cuz that's why I was gonna beat it up. But then this boy came up to me and asked me what my name was, and I said Hanako, and he ran screaming, "It's Hanako." My girl says she's ventured through sevens to see the Emon Curse work. She's such a fearless kid. Here's Humaru Park, built in 1980 on the site of Sumaru Castle, where Kiyotada Sumaru ruled over this land during the Sengoku era. Tatsuzo Sudo of the Prefectural Assembly, along with many other generous donors, contributed to the construction fund. Interesting. I think that person is Kanpo. Board to board, 38th Annual Tanabata Fireworks Festival. 65,536 fireworks will light the night sky. Time and date to be decided, I think. Rengadai at Tanabata Bridge. So there you go. Nothing else here, but there was one in BC and also five members we haven't talked to yet. Because they're kind of born, obviously. It's this guy. Now, what does a young boy like yourself want on a homeless son like me? Tokusan, a homeless man living in Honmaru Park, lives on fringes of society for philosophical reasons. Is more intelligent than he seems. Interesting. I'm great at listening on the murmurs of the society. Listening to rumors teaches you the lies and deceptions of the world very clearly. Would you mind telling me any interesting rumors you know? In return, I'll tell you the ones I've heard. So he's another rumor monger, the one for Rengadai. Each area Sumaru has a rumor monger. You know that the one for Hirosaka is Toro. This is like Ken and the others. He's turned black as a shadow. That joke, I'm gonna catch him. You just watch me. Ah, no, stay away. Rumor is that couples who go on dates in this park always have messy breakups. Oh, okay. Yeah, that means the couples who've been seeing are gonna have a bad time, I guess. But anyway, Silverman Manor. Of course, this is where Lisa lives. Oh yeah, wait. We don't have any reason to come here. Oh, you're home, Lisa. I told you in this house. In this house, when you come home, you must report to your father. This is Steven Silverman. By the way, apparently he looks just like Steven Seagal, hence the name. I don't know who that is, though, is the problem. I assume he's probably some kind of... I assume Steven Silverman's personality is kind of based on that, but I'm not so sure because I don't know the dude. But anyway, Lisa's strong, steady father. An American who loved Japan so much, he applied for citizenship. Yep, he's a weeb. Wants Lisa to become a proper Japanese lady. A proper Japanese lady is modest, quiet, obeys filial piety, and respects the rules of the household. Come, your TLS is beginning. Hey, shut up. Neofalala. I'm home. They're happy now? Ever looked around at Japanese ladies these days? They go to clubs and party all night with guys. I'm doing exactly like you asked. He basically wants Lisa to become a son something. I think it's like... I forget the term, but it basically means proper Japanese lady. Maybe I'll mention that later, but anyway. We'll look into it more later. Because, yeah, this won't be the last time we see this, man. Proper Japanese lady? I wonder what kind of classy family lived in, but it was her house? So that's her dad, and this is her house? She's a white girl who uses Cantonese. What country is she from? Why are you always wearing a collar? It doesn't look good. It just looks hot. Ah, that's good, Tatsuya. What a tragedy. Still better using Cantonese rather than a beautiful native tongue. We used to spend so much time together. Why did she become so rebellious? He's important for later. So I'm gonna do... It's to do with the Sweet State magazines, actually. So yeah, we'll worry about that later, though. Because we kinda need a rumor. But anyway... we've already explored all our Rengadai, so let's go to Seven Sisters High and see what's up. The answer, it's not good. Yeah, I wonder what's up. Did something happen? You could say that. The big clock in the tower suddenly started moving. And yeah, that's a thing now. Because yeah, we did definitely hear before that it was not moving, so what's up with that? What's the matter? Why all this fuss about clocks starting? There's tons of scary rumors about this tower, like ghosts appearing and other bad stuff when the clock starts again. Clock starts again. Oh no, what a terrible omen. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Take it easy, Grants. There's no need to be scared. Long as I'm around, you got nothing to worry about. Oh, something awful will happen. Before he died, that teacher said the world will end if time is not stopped. Are you talking about that teacher who died in the clock tower? Yes, that's right. That teacher nobly sacrificed his life to save the children and ensure world peace. No, this can't be. The same Pleiades set the frozen time free. Has it begun? The Naruto Stone. What about the Naruto Stone? Oh, man, another thing about Miss Ideal, she's kind of crazy. Let's go on to Miss Ideal. Can this day get any crazier? Big clock start again, so I'd say yes. Can you prevent the curse by taking the emblems off our uniforms? And yeah, that happened. Oh god, your face! The curse, it's the emblem curse. I assume that's why some of the students have the bandages. Dude, what? Did that girl's face just... Hey, what's going on? Does this seem it is enough to take the emblems off our uniforms? Let's hurry and find Prince Ohania. We ain't let the curse from my face and touches gets all messed up. Alrighty, so now we have our first dungeon, but I think before we do get into things, we should learn about our new personas. That's of course Vulcanus, Radamanthus, and Eros. And of course, just like I did with Persona 1, let's do some bios as well. That'll allow me to talk about the Arcanas, and as well as some other like mechanics in them too. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna be cutting, and then we'll come back. So let's start with Tatsuya Suo. So yeah, the main character obviously. I'm also going to use this as an opportunity to talk about some of the, I guess, basic gameplay stuff. So yeah. So Tatsuya himself, he uses swords as his physical melee weapon. This can be nice again against enemies that tend to resist magic. Most enemies that do resist or null magic, they're generally going to be weak to physical. So yeah. There isn't really enemies that... There aren't too enemies. Too many enemies that are specifically weak to swords. It's mainly just, yeah, having a physical attack just in case all those magic immune enemies is quite nice. So, yeah. And of course, Tatsu is actually not too bad at using them either. Because his stats can be... his stats can be modified to your preference. So, of course, he can boost his damage. That's generally what I like to do. I like to mainly focus on his strength and dex, which yeah, we need to talk about as well. And yeah, slowly pumping up vitality and agility, and then dumping luck basically. So yeah, I guess we'll talk about what these stats mean. So strength is obviously your damage with physical attacks, and it also helps pump up your attack stat. Which, yeah, that's the damage. That's the stat that helps determine how much damage you do with physical attacks. Then after that is Vitality. This helps your defenses. Raising this will obviously help out your HP, defense, and magic defense. I like to raise this, even if damage in this game is quite low on the enemy side, and you also get buffs to magic, or defense and magic defense. I still like it just in case. Just in case, yeah, there are some pretty damaging enemies later on in the game, so yeah. Dex is probably the most important stat to your magic stat, but also it also helps your magical defense as well. So yeah, it's a very important stat to raise, just like Persona 1, if you want to do a lot of damage with Persona skills, since most of those are going to be magical. Then after that, it's Agility, helps determine turn order. I believe it also helps with evasion too. Turn order isn't the best in this game because you may need to wait on your slower party members. So going all in on Agility isn't the wisest thing in the world, but having a bit is still decent to potentially get the jump on enemies, maybe get some more fusion spells off before they can. That's pretty useful. And finally, Luck. It seems to raise a lot of things, or most things, so I wouldn't really focus on that. The main purpose of Luck is for luck-based things, like gambling and the sweet state, stuff like that. But if you really want to, have a high luck stat for that, I recommend just getting a Persona that has a high luck stat. And we'll be getting access to Persona like that very, very soon. So no need to worry about luck in my opinion. But anyway, so yeah, that's Tatsuya as a character, and again, like I said, I do like to boost his offenses. I like to make him one of the highest damage dealers in the party. That's generally how I like to build them. Again, there might be more optimal ways to build them. Probably a speedrunner will probably have a good idea of that, but it's okay. Again, I think, yeah, boosting that strength and boosting that dex seems to be the way to go. So, yeah. Okay, let's talk about some other things about Tatsuya. So, of course, it's not just his Stein persona that he can use. He can also use other personas, but this will be dependent on his affinities. That's in the bottom left. Now, the main ones we're going to be focusing on are great and good, because the interesting thing about Persona 2 is that you can actually equip basically any persona from any arcana, with a few exceptions, but the exception is that are persona specific. Basically, there are some personas that, yeah, they just have burst affinity, not the arcanas, so that's different from Persona 1, where some arcanas are just straight up off limits for certain characters, so yeah. And yeah, why do you want a higher affinity? Well, the reason why is that you actually get reduced SP costs, depending on how good your affinity is, but if you have bad affinity, you actually get increase to your SP cost, so just keep that in mind. And also the chance of a mutation happening is higher the higher your affinity as well. So generally speaking, the higher the affinity, the easier the persona is to use in terms of SP cost, and also the more likely it is to get stronger thanks to mutation. So yeah, those are some things you keep in mind. As for Tatsuya, Fool everyone's good with, but I'll still keep it posted. He's also great with Hangman, Sun, his main arcana, World, Cup and Sword. Cup and Sword are special arcanas because of the minor arcanas, and you can only get these through mutation as well, so you want to keep that in mind. But also, good is not bad either. While it isn't as good as great in terms of, reducing SV cost and the chance of mutation, it's still pretty decent. And yeah, some of these personas can be very useful for Tatsuya. He gets Emperor, Chariot, Justice, Moon, Rod, and Coin from being good. So, not too bad there either. So yeah. So those are the arcanas you probably want to be focused on with Tatsuya. So yeah, I think now let's actually talk about Tatsuya as a character now. Let's start with his arcana. Now, another thing about Persona 2 is that each character has a zodiac sign. These are more important later, but I guess I can mention them a little bit here, with Tatsuya having the Leo zodiac sign, but my main focus here is going to be on his arcana, the Sun arcana. And yeah, this happens to be the arcana I probably line up with too. The Sun arcana represents happiness, success, optimism, vitality, joy, confidence, happiness, and truth. So yeah, when reversed is also important. This will be more important later, but I might mention it. I might as well mention it now. If the Sun Arcana is reversed, it represents flawed happiness, excessive enthusiasm, pessimism, unrealistic expectation, and good-sightedness. And yeah, I feel like the Sun Arcana fits Tatsuya as our main hero. He helps lead his fight to success, and his leadership also provides his party members inspiration and joy as well. So that's why I feel like it fits quite well. And of course, his persona is also of the Sun Arcana. That is Volcanus, the Roman god of fire, volcanoes, deserts, smiting metalworking, and the forge. He's also said to be the patron of artists and inventors. The association of fire is very fitting with the Sun Arcana. Most Sun Arcana personas mainly focus on fire and light, but also fits with Tatsuya since the design seems to be based on the light that the Tatsuya holds. That's a very interesting thing. We don't really know what the significance of that light is, but it'll make more sense later. And of course, yeah, and that is a pretty... Again, these personas, even though the designs are a little bit strange to some people, they do definitely try to fit in with the characters quite well. I feel more so when compared to Persona 1 and the designs of their personas, so yeah, that's pretty cool. But anyway, now let's actually talk about how Persona works. So yeah, they obviously got an Arcana. The type means that, yeah, it's basically what the persona's affinity is. Most of them will be the four main elements: fire, water, wind, and earth. What that generally means is that, yeah, if the persona is of the fire type, it can't get skills from the water type via fusion. So yeah, just keep that in mind. The level is obviously the level of the persona. To summon a persona, you actually need to be within 5 levels of it, which is actually quite interesting. It does mean that, yeah, if you're level 6, you actually get a level 11 persona, so that's pretty useful. SP cost, that's obviously how much SP it costs to use its attacks. Just like Persona 1, this is... each skill doesn't cost a specific amount, it's how much it costs of the persona. So yeah, and of course Tatsuya does get a little bit reduced because he has great affinity with Sun obviously, although yeah, Volcanus is exclusive to Tatsuya, that also goes to the other Stein personas, generally speaking. The bonus is what bonus you get on level up. In Tatsuya's case, or Persona case I guess you could say, Sun Arcana personas give you +1 agility, not too bad, but I wouldn't, fret over this. I recommend just using whatever personas are useful in that current situation. The return item, these also come back from Persona 1. If the persona's max rank, you can return it for an item. I generally like to do this later in the game when you have to worry less about learning fusion spells. That's one reason to keep the persona around, because they might have useful skills to help with that. And yeah, Archer, for example, on Volcanus is needed for one such skill, so yeah, I like to keep him around until I learn that fusion spell. But anyway, in this case it's a strength incense. There are actually 2 types of stat boosting items in this game. The incenses are used for the party members, and the cards you add them during fusion to boost the person's stats. So of course in this case, a strength incense gives a character a permanent +1 strength boost. Not too bad. Of course, because it's a Tatsuya. Traits, that's important for negotiating, but of course, you can't negotiate with Volcanus, so yeah, it's just kind of flavor. In this game, yeah, you actually do get a little bit of lore on the personas, which is something I wish Persona 1 had. And of course, yeah, I definitely quite appreciate that. It does help to learn about what some of these random personas are. And then of course you have the stats, which I already talked about, but now we get into the affinities, or the elements I should be saying. So yeah, they're less complicated than Persona 1, but there's still quite a lot of them. The first 5 are the physical skills: sword, range, which is gun attacks basically, strike, thrown, and habit. And yeah, that's really all there is to say about that. Again, most physical elements, they'll be good against enemies that happen to be resisting magic. So yeah, that's all you really need to worry about. Although there are definitely some enemies that are weak to certain physical elements, so I guess that's something to keep in mind. Then you got the 4 main elements: fire, water, wind, and earth. Yeah, this game has water and earth. Not something you see that often in these Persona games, which is cool. And of course, Volcanus, he nulls fire but is weak to water, being a fire-based persona. Now that is the rest. Ice, electric, nuclear, light, dark, almighty, which is actually its own element in this game, so that's something to keep in mind. Nerve and mind. So yeah, these are basically other elements that don't fall into place with the main four. As well as your light and dark skills, which are insta kills, generally speaking in this game. Almighty, which, yeah, again, it doesn't actually, go through everything like it normally does. The only way to do that is certain non-elemental attacks, and that's mainly reserved for bosses anyway. The final two are obviously Nerve and Mind, your stat specs. And you see there, yeah, Volcanus doesn't do too bad. He's weak to ice, but resists nuclear, light, dark, Nerve and Mind. So pretty resilient against status is the main thing there, as well as insta kills. So that's not too bad. Pretty good starting persona in terms of abilities to that is for dang sure. And now you also get the skills. You learn these based on the rank. Personas level up by acting, but you can get the ranks quicker by doing fusion spells and also hoping for a mutation. The main mutation to look out for is gain 2 ranks. That means the persona just gets 2 ranks for free, and it's very, very nice when that happens. Makes leveling up personas way quicker when compared to Persona 1. But anyway, as for skills, Volcanus is pretty basic, although it does have some pretty decent skills. Argia, of course, is a good fire skill. Well, I mean, it's the weakest, but it does mean that, yeah, we have access to some fusion spells early on. Patra cures ailments, again, not too bad of a skill to have around, especially considering the mutation skill Volcanus gets. Flame Cut, there is a stronger version of this when Ikichi gets a certain skill, but it can be nice if you're unable to if you want to use different fusion attacks in Tatsuya, I guess. Because again, low sword plus fire damage isn't bad. Especially if the enemy doesn't like both of those things, so yeah. Or even if they're only weak to one of those things, it can still hurt. But generally speaking, I like to use its more powerful counterpart with a fusion spell. Then there's Balzac, which it can Fury an enemy, which I believe makes it so that they deal more damage, but they can only use their physical attack. I don't really like using stats that much in this game, to be fair. I can't just, kill them in one hit. That's the general aim of things, so yeah. So again, stats are not the biggest fan of. And then finally, Meragi. Something to note about Persona 2 is that Meragi, Meragion, and Meragidyne, and its counterparts in the different elements, they can be used for fusion spells, so it's quite important to remember these skills. And of course, Volcanus gets Meragi, that is definitely one good thing to remember. Then the mutation skill, these, you can randomly learn these from mutation, and apparently it happens at higher ranks. And that's going to be Dia, so Tatsuya can support the team a little bit by healing a little bit, so that's alright. Although yeah, he's definitely not as good as some other party members we're going to be talking about, so yeah. That is Volcanus and Tatsuya. Again, the main character proves to be quite strong in this game. Again, because you can adjust their stats, and yeah, Volcanus is a very solid starting Persona 2, especially because Meragi is not too bad to have around, especially considering what other personas are available at this point. So yeah. I like Tatsuya a lot. Volcanus is a pretty cool starting persona, and yeah, that's really what I want to talk about. And yeah, now we've also gone over most of the basics. The rest of the party membership will go by a lot quicker. Up next is going to be Lisa Silverman. So yeah, this is our first party member that we can't control level up soft. And yeah, generally speaking, Lisa's going to be focusing mainly on agility. She will have the highest agility out of the other party members, unless of course you go all in with that with Tatsuya. So yeah. And again, that's not too bad. It does mean that yeah, she generally goes first in battles. Because of that, it can be a little bit annoying that agility is so high, because it can be a little bit difficult to use fusion attacks with certain party members, but it is what it is. Again, enemies aren't too threatening for the most part, so yeah, it's not too bad to let them go first from time to time. And yeah, as for a physical weapon, it's strike-based fist, so yeah, just keep that in mind when you're using a physical attack. So yeah, now let's talk about the Lover's Arcana. Her Arcana, obviously. She's also of the Taurus zodiac sign as well. So yeah. So the Lover's Arcana represents love, unions, partnerships, relationships, choices, romance, balance, and unity. But in reverse, it represents disharmony, imbalance, conflict, detachment, bad choices, and indecision. And yeah, I feel like this actually fits Lisa quite well. She thinks about her relationship with Tatsuya through a lot of the game, but may also symbolize the fact that she chose to reject the role of being a traditional Japanese woman like by speaking Cantonese, as we saw earlier with her father. So yeah, of course, her being Lover's Arcana and being a foreigner definitely reminds a lot of people of another character, Aunt Kamiki in Persona 5. And yeah, I like both characters to be honest. Lisa is definitely her own beast though, let's just say, and Anna is definitely her own character as well, even if, yeah, they do seem pretty similar on the surface. But anyway, yeah, I do think that, yeah, Lovers does fit Lisa quite well, and I do like how it potentially relates to her relationship with her father as well. I mean, that's pretty cool. Because, of course, yeah, Lovers obviously is all about, choices, not just about love and romance. Kind of like with another arcana we're going to be talking about in a bit. Anyway, her slime persona is Eros. Now, interesting about Eros is that in Greek myth, where they come from, they're actually a he, but here the persona is actually a she. So, yeah, that's a little bit interesting. But anyway, Eros is the Greek god of love and sex. In the earliest accounts, he is described as a primordial god, but in later accounts, he is described as one of the children of Aphrodite and Ares. He's usually depicted as mischievous and carrying a bow and arrow to make people fall in love, like his Roman equivalent, the Cupid. The theme of love is why he's of the Love's Arcana, and probably fits with Lisa due to them both focusing on relationships, but both could be seen as mischievous due to Lisa's interaction with Kichi. They're kind of like a comedy duo, like a lot of Persona characters, I guess you could say. So yeah, there's that. I think another aspect is the design. Eros has a very flashy standout design, which could relate to the fact that, yeah, Lisa stands out quite a bit with her foreign looks, obviously. So yeah, there's also that. And yeah, I forgot to mention that, yeah, not only is Lisa good with lovers, she's also good with Fool, like everyone else. Hermit, Temperance, Star, Run a Coin, that's obviously what she's great with. And then she's also good with Priestess, Empress, Fortune, Sun, Judgment, Cup, and Sword. So yeah, those are the arcanas you'll be focusing on. So as for Eros themselves, they're mainly healed. They get Dia and Freya Mutation Medea. And I do recommend getting that Medea, it really helps out on boss fights potentially. As of course, Conquer owns some group healing, especially because, yeah, it'll have the same SP cost as Medea, or Dia, sorry. So Medea just becomes the outright better option. Outside that, she uses Magna and the Magna. So some Earth damage right there. That's obviously quite nice to have around. Especially that Magna later on when we, had the opportunity to learn a new Earth spell. So yeah, or Earth fusion spell. And yeah, as for the resistances, Eris actually has no weakness. And as well as nulling light, resisting dark, and resisting the mind. So that's not too bad either. Definitely a resilient little persona that's also pretty decent at healing and support. The other skills aren't too amazing. Barrage obviously can blind the enemy, although it does have a decent chance of success, I feel like, against most enemies. And then Marin Karen can charm. If that works, it does, make the enemy do unwanted things. Like, yeah, helping your party out, for example. But yeah, I'm not really a big fan of stats in this game. I kind of just, want to blast through my enemies with damage. So yeah, rather than using stats. So there's that. Also mentions that yeah, Eris has recovery boost, where the Eris' host recovers 2 times full HP when healed. I don't really notice that at all during my playthrough, to be honest, but it is a nice bonus, I guess. And then the last thing is that Eris actually returns for a piece of equipment, the Orb of Solving. This is an accessory that basically highlights all fusion spells, even ones you haven't learned yet. So that could be nice. But if you're using a guide, you don't really need it too much, so yeah. That's just something to keep in mind. But this is probably the easier way to get it, because the other way to get the oversolving is in the casino by gambling a lot. So yeah. So again, this is probably the way to get this item if you really want it. So yeah. So yeah, that'll be it for Lisa and Eris. Again, a character I really like. I can't wait to show off more of why I quite like her as we go on. But now we have one more item to talk about here. Up next and last of the day is going to be Kichi Mishima. And yeah, for some reason I read this as Mishima for a long time. I don't know why I did that, but yeah, that was a thing. And of course, Radamanthus. So yeah, Akichi, he focuses on strength. Strength is going to be his highest stat when he levels up. And yeah, that's not too bad, especially because later on in the game, we get some really powerful physical fusion spells. And even something as simple as a straight slash can be decently potent later on as well. So yeah, and yeah, now for Arcanas, of course Death is going to be his best Arcana, but he's also going to Fool, like everyone else. Strength, Hangman, well, Cup and Sword, those are obviously what he's great with. And then he's good at Emperor, Hierophant, Chariot, Justice, Moon, Rod, and Coin. A decent selection right there, and of course a lot of Arcanas to focus on physical power. Great for the character with the high strength stats. So yeah, that's great to see. So now let's talk about the Death Arcana, which I was three what Akichi focus on. And this Arcana is one of those ones that is a little bit misunderstood. And for that, he's also of the Scorpio zodiac sign. Anyway, as for Death Arcana, it represents transformation, endings, change, transition, letting go, and release. In reverse, represents fear of change, repeating negative patterns, resisting change, stagnancy, and decay. So yeah, it focuses more on change rather than actual death itself. And yeah, I say this does fit Akichi since he transformed himself. But you will learn more about this later, but yeah, let's just say that yeah, Akichi didn't always look like this. He decided to change himself, which of course does fit with the Death Arcana being all about change. And yeah, not only did he change his appearance, but also his personality too, with this very narcissistic visual kei persona that he has on. So yeah, there's that. And now we can now talk about his time persona, Radamanthus. The son of Zeus and Europa in Greek mythology, he was considered a demigod due to his father being Zeus, and yeah, just like Akichi, yeah, Radamanthus' father is, yeah, not the nicest father around, let's just say, considering all the tales of Zeus you'll find. And yeah, Radamanthus' name symbolizes stern and inflexible judgment. He was a wise king of Crete. He became Hades, one of the judges of the dead in the underworld after his own death. The focus on death is why he's part of the Death Arcana, and he fits Akichi since both would transform at one point in their life, and both have very striking designs, with the persona having a very bite-bait design. I feel like this potentially symbolizes the youngie look, basically like the Japanese hooligan, or punk I guess you could say, and yeah, Akichi does feel like that on the surface, with his design, and his narcissistic personality, and that's why I feel like Radamanthus' design has a very, biker look. But also the bright colors could also be a symbolism of, Akichi's very striking appearance. It's kind of what that is, very bite-based. You'd think that'd be very, music-based with like some guitars sticking out and stuff, but apparently not. So yeah. That's okay. I still think it fits Akichi decently well. But anyway, as for a persona itself, Radamanthus is actually pretty decent. Mainly focusing on water, he obviously gets Aqua and Malaqua, and with Mutation Aquas, the second tier water spell. So that basically, replaces Aqua. Mudo, of course, is a dark skill. I don't think dark is too great in this game because a lot of enemies feel very dark-like. But of course, the light-based enemies, they're not going to like Mudo at all. So yeah, that's something to remember. And then finally Zan, which is a very weird skill in this game because Zan used to be Force, and it's normally Force in most Persona games. But in this game, it's Almighty for some reason, which I guess it's cool. But it's not too great. Mainly what you really want is Zanma, which we'll talk about later. But of course, the last skill that I haven't actually talked about yet, and his rank 2 skill, this is probably his most important one, it's Straight Slash. Medium sword damage is of course great for a strength-based fireman, but also it can be fused pretty easily with any fire, water, earth, wind, light, and dark skills. So yeah, very versatile skill for fusion attacks, which is very, very nice. And of course, we're going to be taking advantage of this stat for quite a bit of the game, to be honest. So yeah. And of course, Random Mantis starting with it is pretty cool as well. So yeah. Another very solid Stein percent, of course, his abilities are also pretty decent. Nulling Dark, as well as Nevermind. So yeah. Akechi is decently resilient to status as a result. So yeah. Of course, yeah, status is still a bit annoying, but yeah. At least, you know, Akechi is decently resilient to that, so that is obviously nice to see. But anyway, that is really everything we had to say about Akechi, so yeah. Again, really cool fire member as well, very useful. I feel like in terms of character, I don't like him as much as Lisa and Tatsuya, but I still think he's pretty decent. And of course, his Stein persona I actually come to appreciate quite a bit, to be honest. A pretty cool persona to learn about, so yeah. That's all the fire members. Let's get back to the action now. Alright, we're back. So yeah, let's go on for a little bit longer. There is one thing I really want to show before we do end things, and that's of course our first random battle. And it's going to be against some slimes. Squishy Squish, a human? I want to talk to you. Squab, what's wrong? Why do you say anything? Is this the first time you ever talked to a demon? Yeah, it is. Well, technically not, but I'll show the talk. Skivity, are you nervous? You don't have to be. I know, I'll teach you how to make contact with demons. So, do you want to learn? Sure. Squishy Squash, okay, I'll tell you. I'll teach you. You know what demons are? Sure, you're thinking they're scary, scary monsters, right? Well, that's not true at all. Demons are just like you, Squidge. Your humans get happy, angry, scared, and eager. Those emotions are what create demons, so we're the same as you, Grubble. Demons get happy, angry, scared, and eager too. I'm sure you want to be friends with us, Bloop, so you need to try to keep us from being angry. We show our emotions through our words, sounds, actions, and a gauge. Flop. Squishy Squish, take a look. Boing, this is happiness. This is the green gauge, got it? When this is full, we'll be willing to make a pact with you. You get good things, so you get pacts with us. You get tarot cards you can't normally get or hear interesting stories. But we're not going to give them away for free even if we have a pact. You need to talk with us again, Global. Mash Bush, this is anger. It's the red gauge, see, Bush? If this gauge fills up, we end the conversation. We'll be so upset we won't talk with you again. We might even up and attack you, Global. If you have a pact, we'll end it right there and then. So nothing good happens if you make us too angry, got it? Bloop. Splat, this is fear. It's the blue gauge you see. If this fills up, we run away, Whoosh. Squishy Squash, this is eagerness. It's the yellow gauge and exclamation mark. There's a point to playing this on. Have you been to the Volver room to get your personas yet, Squish? Bloop, to get a new persona for the Volver, you need tarot cards. You have to get them from us, Bloop. In order to get tarot cards, you have to fill up our eagerness gauge, Bloop. The stronger the persona, the more tarot cards are required to summon, Squeesh. Boing, so if you want a strong persona, you have to talk to us a lot. Also, the other emotions, happiness, anger, and fear, they can go up along with eagerness, Squish for example. Boing, this is happiness and eagerness going up at the same time. The green gauge and the exclamation point, see, Bloop. If both these are full, you can't form a pact, instead something else happens. Filling eagerness at the same time as anger or fear will also have different results. Squish, these four emotions will normally fill up in 3 stages. My advice is to try and focus on just one emotion. Next, let me talk about the demon personalities. There are many types of demons. I'm sure it's the same with humans. Smart guys, short-tempered guys, timid guys, they all have different likes and dislikes. Figure them out while you're contacting them. There are 8 main types of personalities. Wise, foolish, joyful, gloomy, forceful, timid, snappish, and haughty. All demons have between 1 and 3 of these distinct personality types. Depending on the combination of personalities, they'll have different reactions to various ways you try to contact them. But you won't know a demon's personality until you make contact with it once. That's about it, Squish, now give it a try. So yeah, I guess the long and short of it is that, yeah, you want to make a pact with a demon, Yeah, I'm just gonna simplify things a little bit. What you want to do is you want to make a pact with the demon by making it happy. Then after that, find the demon again and make it eager, and then it'll give you tarot cards from its arcana, but also free cards. Free cards turn into any card in the Velvet Room. And that means, yeah, you can basically use whatever you want, as well as personas from arcanas that don't normally appear on enemies. So that's very useful. You want to avoid anger because it'll end the pact immediately, then you have to redo the pact. And also, yeah, it's just not a good thing in general. He talked about that the emotions can go out together. It's very rare that happens. I believe most guides are going to avoid doing that unless it's needed. So yeah, that's a thing. Like, yeah, the guide I have, it's basically just going to focus on one emotion at a time, basically, which, yeah, is why I recommend you do. Actually, there's one other thing I should mention about Pact. You can also tell the demon to give you an item, and it'll give you just a free item. These can be quite nice, actually, depending on what they are, or, you know, you can just get them from regular item shots, I believe, as well. But yeah, just remember that too. Pacts are very, very useful for certain demons. So yeah. And that's mainly it. That's mainly what I want to talk about. I guess the only thing you need to be wary of is if you do want to try and make the demon eager, it'll most likely it'll most likely ask you some questions. So you want to answer correctly. I believe that's where the demon's personality can come into play. So yeah, just keep that in mind as well. It'll make more sense as we go along. But for right now, I'll give an example. So Slime here, if you want to make him eager, we need Tatsuya 4. According to the guide, which is Desta. Squish hard. So it's like this. Get it? Blop. Sometimes demons will ask you questions onto your contacts. Yeah, I talked about that. They'll even start talking to you right when you meet them. Well, you figure out once you contact demons a few times. Wow, that was a lot of reading. Blop. Thanks for paying attention to the world. I'll give you 3 talent cards. Squishy squash. Good luck to you. So there you go. So yeah, that's yeah. That is yeah, how you do demon conversation. We're gonna be doing that a bit, but for right now, what you wanna do is we wanna level up. So let's see what we got. So we wanna start using some fusion spells. Because yeah, this is gonna allow us to get more mutations. We'll also find some ghosts. I believe they don't like fire. So yeah, there is something you can do about that. So anyway, we actually banned for the first time. So mainly, if you want to get some fusion spells, what you need to do is you need to set the turn order. So I want to use a new fusion spell, which starts with Aqua. Then it goes Magna, and then Agi. So actually it's like this. So then we got Aqua, Magna, and Agi. So yeah, now let's fight, and let's do it. Now, the only problem with setting the turn order is that it's going to make the enemies move first most of the time. Of course, you can definitely help that by increasing the agility of your fire members, so just keep that in mind. And yeah, again, the enemies aren't too strong, but they are kind of annoying. Sometimes Dormina, if it puts us to sleep, then yeah, we can't really act. And yeah, here's our first new fusion spell, Powering Inferno. It's just some fire damage. And there you go, but it does do a lot more damage than just attacking normally at this point. I'll show off Hydra Boost too, which is Agi, Magna, and Aqua. Might as well. Hey, these things also use Aqua. But again, it doesn't do that much. Save the regular attacks. So let's go for another Hydra Boost. And yeah, I probably talked about mutation already, but yeah, make sure to use those fusion spells. It means that, yeah, you're more likely to get some mutations going. And yeah, also by using fusion spells, it means that all the personas practicing get some rank ups. I believe they even rank up quicker when you use fusion spells too. I can't confirm that entirely, but yeah. And yeah, that only did 2 damage. Also, yeah, in this game, yeah, Weakness only does extra damage. It doesn't, you know, get them extra turns or anything like that, so you don't have to worry as much. And there we go.
Bad luck running into me.
Are we gonna get a mutation now? Yeah, we do. And it's actually on Volcanus. And we just get stats, alright. Mutation is type of Disintegrate that happens sometimes with the fusion spells. The better you can badly, the longer you are. Out of the snipe grows, depends its rank. The higher its rank, the time of mutation, the likely a rare useful mutation is. Some can become a different persona type by setting mutation in the Delver room. A few personas can even take this way. So there you go. Almost level up. I think, yeah, let's level up and then we'll end off. I'm here because you can actually heal here, which is definitely quite useful if you want to, you know, level up, rank up these personas a little bit, so yeah. Hey, here's a poltergeist. Once again, let's just use Towering Inferno. And I'll also show another thing too about this battle system too that's kind of important. Again, it is a little bit slow because you do need to, you know, it takes a little bit to, you know, input all your commands, I feel like, especially when compared to Richard, but again, it doesn't bother me that much, to be honest. Ares is already rank 3, which is good. And yeah, I recommend remembering that you have auto battle, because as you see here, we immediately go back to using the future spell we used last time. It just saves a lot of time. So there you go. Yeah, you're gonna see me use auto battle a lot in this playthrough.
Sorry about that.
And there you go. And here we go, another mutation. Good. This time for Rhinomanthus, stats increased again. It's alright getting extra stats, but yeah, I kind of wish you for more. But anyway, as for Tatsuya's growth, again, I'm not so sure what's most optimal, but I kind of like boosting both his strength and dex to make him damage more, and it'll also increase his vitality. I'm gonna make luck the dump stat because again, it doesn't boost too much. I've got to use a persona to help increase it. So yeah. Alright. And yeah, like I said, yeah, this will be a good ending point because yeah, this is a healing point. I believe you can talk to this person. Oh ho ho, do you need grandpa for something? He left. Said something about the big clock. I'm sure he'll be back eventually. You want me to take a look at your wounds while you're here? Sure. And there you go. Wow, this is opposed to Sayuri Yoshikawa. Gramps here has the same taste of words as my puppy, old man. Dude, this box is ropes and counts it. Nah, no, my get him right out of the go, Kichi. Yeah. Our biomas really don't like the sight of those things either, it seems. So anyway, yeah, that'll be it. So yeah, next time. Now yeah, we've learned how personas work, we learned how to battle. Things are looking up. So yeah, next time, yeah, we're going to be exploring more sevens and hopefully, yeah, getting stronger and maybe learning more about what the hell's going on here. So yeah, look forward to that and I'll see you guys again for that.